Oh, hey, buddy. Hey, stop, stop. Chill out, chill out. Oh, it's a... Shh, shh, shh. You're good, you're good, you're good. Oh, okay, okay. Fuck, no. Fuck, homie, I'm helping you, I'm helping.
Halcyon Helen introduces Rizzo Spectrum Brown, Draft 3. I'm Halcyon Helen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome so many important, rich guests to the unveiling of Read the Following with Due Significance. Rizzo Spectrum Brown. Though Spectrum Black was the pinnacle of quality, think again. Now your taste can reach new highs with the wonderful Spectrum Brown, containing notes of, look, list whatever you want here, just make it sound good. Rizzo's put the utmost in quality into their new beverage. Brown also contains a special secret ingredient that can't be found in any other type of drink. Each refreshing sip will leave you feeling more ecstatic than ever before. It might have something to do with that. What do we say here? There's a worm in the bottle. Flavor enhancing trifle at the bottle's bottom. Thank you all for coming to this unveiling. Thank you, Rizzo's, for allowing me to speak here. And remember, if it's brown, drink it down. Oh, if it's brown, flush it down. Oh, that shit's terrible. All right. Where did she come from? So she only has the footprints coming here. So she was on the stage. So I guess they did not track on the carpet. Okay. Got it.
I knew I should have gotten her autograph when I had the chance. Look at these people, gawking over Helen's corpse. Bunch of parasites.
Yes. Next thing you know, they'll be rifling through her pockets for some... I know, Felix, I agree with you completely. Next, they'll be rifling through her pockets for some credits or bits.
Black Hole Bertie?
We should try to solve the puzzle hedges in the orchards. The prize is supposed to be something valuable.
Ah, the garden's there. Well, hello, concierge.
I'm sorry, sir, but while the hotel is an active crime scene, I regret to inform you that all new bookings, room upgrades, room downgrades, and in-room massages are suspect. Oh, you're the special inspector. Mr. Kincannon warned me you'd be checking in soon.
What? What do you mean in-room massages are canceled? Right. Anyways, you happen to have my room key.
Ah, yes. We are most pleased to offer you our grandest of grand accommodations, Inspector. The penthouse suite on our topmost floor is now available for you. The last guest left her belongings behind when she vacated unexpectedly, so we needed a little time to tidy the suite up for you. Simply call the elevator in the lobby, and our highly skilled operator will deliver you to your private floor with efficiency and cheer.
You've got some high-profile guests here, right? What can you tell me about them?
My apologies, Inspector, but that would be a severe violation of guest privacy. We here at the Grand Colonial firmly believe that—
Suspicious!
All right, my supervisor just walked out of earshot. Some folks just don't understand the importance of gossip. About whom? And what would you wish to know?
Oh, well, very good, concierge. Did you notice anything about Halcyon Helen before she died?
You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of an Aether Wave watcher myself. And Helen always had a crowd of admirers chasing her, you see. So she rarely stopped to chat. Friendly enough, surely, but always seemed untouchable. Emphasis on seemed.
Was she closer with some people than others?
Everyone wanted to be around Helen. She could usually be seen alongside Bertie or Woolrich, for obvious reasons.
Well, Black Hole Birdie was staying here, correct?
Ah, Bertie. Is he bigger than he is dumb, or dumber than he is big? I've a bet with a friend. Not sure we'll ever get it to pay out. Bertie used to be Helen's beau, though he isn't anymore, and not just because she's dead. If I had 1,000,000 bits, I'd spend every one just to learn what caused their split.
We've got some kind of productivity guru here. What's her deal?
Her deal? Not making them. I'd laugh at my own comment, but everyone knows there's no bigger joke than the prophet of profitability herself. Didn't you hear Helen's interview? That woman is the definition of humbuggery. Anyone who gives her the time of day is a right fool. I mean, Spencer Woolrich has taken several of her productivity seminars, and look where it got him. Don't waste your time.
Ah. So she was talking to the profitability, and Woolrich lost his Woolrich on her. So, Woolrich, any reason he want her dead?
If looks could kill, he'd have put her in the ground 10 times over. Man's clearly jealous of her success compared to his. See, I'd bet we're the only two people thinking about him in all of Eridanos. And I only am because you mentioned his name. If you leave woolly cow milk out, it turns to curds. Leave the curds out, they begin to get stale, then rot. Woolridge is on his way to the trash bin, and everyone knows it. Either he's in denial, or he knew Helen would be checking out soon, judging by his increasing demands for a room upgrade.
Ooh, suspicious. Besides, there's this new actor. I don't know if you ever saw his new serial with my co-stars in the back, but he's going to be the next big thing. I just wanted to tell you. But anyways, that's enough gossip for now.
That's a shame, Inspector. What if I wanted to know a little about you?
I'm a freelance captain, changing the colony one high-stakes encounter at a time.
A dashing gunslinger type, then. I'm sure the investigation will turn out splendidly in your hands. Or at least Mr. Kincannon seems confident enough to believe so.
So this Grand Colonial sure is, interesting.
It certainly is a marvel of modern ingenuity, luxury, and ambition. Please allow me to answer any curiosities you might have about our building and the amenities on offer.
What does the penthouse have to offer?
Twice the size of the next biggest room, and kitted out with any amenity you want, as well as many that you won't. Best to enjoy it while you can, Inspector. Typically, the only people who can afford the penthouse suite have enough bits to suffocate everyone on Terra 2. Also, please inform me if Woolridge gives you a hard time about getting a better room than his. Don't tell him I said this, but everyone on staff wants to strangle him.
Don't worry, he might find a bullet in the head. Is there anything special about the upper levels?
Most certainly. All the important folks can be found in the upmost parts of the hotel. You can hardly walk 3 feet without bumping into a tossball grate or a bored exec. Though maybe don't bump into them. Could be harmful to your health.
Don't worry, the board exec isn't going to be around much longer. No one seems to talk much about the lower levels of the hotel.
Who would be interested in a staff-only area? Most folks never ask about the sewers beneath Rizzo's plant, either.
Guess you don't lump yourself in with the other workers?
Oh no, Inspector, sir. I live down there too. But that doesn't mean I plan to abide in the bowels of the Grand Colonial forever. The best thing about Sublight compared to other organizations is the potential for upward mobility. We bottom rungers get in, do our job, do it well, then move up and on. This is but one rung on the grand ladder of life, you see?
About the lower levels of the hotel.
Who would be
You can't honestly tell me there's nothing of interest in an entire half of the hotel.
of interest to your investigation? Well, I suppose there is that one door we're not supposed to open. But I'm sorry, Inspector, I'm not authorized to grant you access to any staff sections of the hotel. You'll have to find a way in on your own.
Ah, okay. You've been very helpful here. So that's enough about the hotel.
If you're sure,
I need access to the VIP guest floor.
I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it.
The only guest who would have a problem with me being up there would be the murderer.
That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
You've been a delight, concierge. Halcyon. All right. The Dissident Queen, Chapter 2. Halcyon Helen encounters the Slugmen. Having fought their way past the numerous bandit ambushes and hostile auto-mechanicals, Halcyon Helen and Olympus Opal have found themselves at the gates of the Dissident hideout. You're a fine partner, easily better than my last, said Helen, but I dare say these fiends outrank your typical anti-establishment scum. Many of them were scientists before they deserted their corporations, whereupon they stole technology for their own nefarious purposes. I've seen their abominations, and they're more than a typical person can handle. You should return to your job and to the place where you're needed. Though I know my work was valuable, Opal said, I am still pleased that I was promoted to assist in your quest to rid the galaxy of those who would threaten the colony's productivity. The two of us together will, I believe, be twice as effective in eliminating enemies of the board. Helen did not respond, but instead bid her companion be silent, for she had seen the gates of the dissident hideout were no longer shut. Someone or something had opened them. And his name was Dent Fleegman. Ooh, ah. Excuse me. Yeah, well. Okay. Oh. Suspicion?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Ooh. Well, hello, okay.
An industrial grade laxative has been added to the liquor in these bottles.
And what does that mean? It's a great joke, but I don't understand how this would help. Severed head of Burbage 2000. The head of Burbage 2000, torn from his body in the the second to last act of Titus Andronicus. While foolish Burbage, thou not perceive that Halcyon is but a wilderness of dissidents? It is only through our citizens' vigilance that they will be caught to report any and all suspicious behavior to your local constable. Okay. So laxatives to the bottom. Hello? Hello?
Why, hello there. Goodness, I always enjoy seeing guests, but it's been so long since I've chatted face to face that I about hopped out of my skin at the sight of you. Excuse me, I should introduce myself, though you might know me already, just not by name. I'm Bellhop Sullivan. You've likely heard my dulcet tones through the elevator intercom.
I recognize your voice. Pleased to finally meet you.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. I'm glad to meet you too. Now that our introductions are out of the way, do let me know if I can help you with anything.
Do you know anything about Halcyon Helen's murder?
Unfortunately not. I was in the operator room for the elevator, as usual. The camera feed only allows me to see within the elevator, which always has many people coming through. For what it's worth, the murder was a right shame. I always enjoyed the serials starring Ms. Helen, though I did find them prone to repetitive plot structures. But I'm sure you've heard the rumor about what actually did her in. That marauders got into the hotel and management is covering it up so the guests don't run off.
So I'd assume the... Okay. Have marauders been a problem with the Grand Colonial before?
Well, not necessarily, but they're fairly prevalent on the other complexes. It wouldn't take much for them to find their way here. Slug claims they've got the problem under control, but I don't understand why they haven't simply gone and exterminated all of the marauders like the vermin they are. Oh, well, I'm just here to push buttons.
So I'd assume the bellhops all know each other. Any gossip about Norville?
Oh yes, Norville's great. Always ready to help any and all guests who might need it. And so handsome, too.
Well, hello.
His judgment sometimes leaves something to be desired, I will say. Kept badgering Halcyon Helen prior to her death about an autograph or something. A little beyond his station.
You said you operate the elevator, right? Can guests not press the buttons themselves?
Well, yes, but having an operator certifies that the right guests end up on the proper floors. We wouldn't want tossball players rubbing shoulders with CEOs. It'd be anarchy. Plus, there's always the risk a guest chips a nail or loses a ring on a button. It's an extra effort, but the Grand Colonial prides itself on personalized service in all things. That and the elevator still works if I'm ever not around. I do take occasional breaks and sleep every so often.
Suspicious. All right, well, thank you very much. Goodbye. Oh, Norville, you cheeky devil. Let's see, where else? Second floor, what's in here? Soap? Oh my god, there's There's soap. Why would the toilet be like... Okay. Anyways. Moving on. Don't leave.
You know, I never imagined Spencer Woolrich would outlive Halcyon Helen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never imagined Spencer
You're
Woolrich
just
would
repeating what
outlive
she said.
Halcyon.
Suspicious. All right. Well, nothing up here. Hello?
Bertie Holcomb is likely beside himself in grief.
We don't toss troublemakers out of airlocks. We just throw them over the edge.
Yeah. Hello?
Bertie Holcomb is likely beside himself in grief.
And what about you?
I can't believe Helen's gone. We're never going to get a sequel to Terror on Monarch.
Wonderful empathy there.
Oh, come on. Why is the lounge closed? I wanted brunch.
Now for crying out loud. I won't take her bit cartridges. But welcome, Dr. Winifred Goodnight. Make sure you clean the blood off your instruments. Okay, patient logs. Borscht, Hartford. Back pains. Another day, another case that bores me to drink. The ill-fated Byzantine of the hour thought it prudent to gorge himself on enough purple-berry wine to incapacitate a primal. He then attempted to reach the lobby by stairs rather than elevator and fell down 6 flights. Oh my goodness. Automechanical servants broke his fall. He broke their servo mechanisms and will be billed accordingly. Fractures in left clavicle, right femur. Wow, parietal bones, ribs, more injuries than brain cells. I recommend replacing purple-berry wine with Rizom's Spectrum Violet in order to appease Rizzo's company policy. Nina Hahn. Extreme excitability. Finally, is something a little different from the norm. Miss Hahn came in earlier today, escorted by her sister. Apparently not long after arriving on Eridanos, the two of them went on a trip through the purple-berry orchards. Miss Hahn's sister visited the purple puzzle hedges, but quickly became lost. When she eventually made her way out, Miss Hahn was nowhere to be found. The sister claimed that Miss Hahn returned to their hotel room several hours later, but has been unusual ever since. Her sister described the patient as formerly sullen, morose, phlegmatic, and given to melancholia. Her demeanor has transformed into an unpleasant degree of levity and shocking enthusiasm toward everything. I suggest vast quantities of cheap alcohol. So something in the orchard. Making people who actually have a brain become excitable. Purple-berry crunch. Suspicious. All right. If there was anything suspicious, you, former Mr. Goodnight, would not tell me now, would you? Okay. I say nothing here. All right.
I did not read about this kind of treatment in the service agreement papers.
Oh, open door policy. She does not have a door lock.
Hey, you got it open. What the? I was going to wash my hands, I swear.
I hope so. Suspicious.
Do put that thing away.
Where were you on the night of Helen Halcyon's death? Or whatever the hell her name is. And wait a minute. Uh-huh. Sitting here, I don't smell anything. There's nothing in the toilet, or there none remains in the toilet, but you have some energizing ointment, and you seem to be a man in his over the prime years. Mm-hmm. Wash your hands and do that stuff in your room. Yeah, let's go.
Murder or no murder, it is my right to loiter on a bar stool. How else should I be expected to avoid my wife?
Okay, hello.
I was nearly attacked by a terror ray on my way here.
Mm-hmm. What's that? Pool. The pool. Refreshments. Grand ballroom.
If you have... Off I go. Sorry, I can't.
Concierge terminal. Please do not store. Okay. Sugary drink. Caffeine. Halcyon. I have reason to believe Ludovico is getting agitated again, which will likely present itself in several dozen messages to you, each demanding a reduction in Rizzo's payments. Funnel these messages into the trash, if you please. If Ludovico wants to negotiate the terms of our contract, he will welcome to take his operation elsewhere. Cedric Kincannon. That damn fool. Guest complaints. From Annoyed. This infernal racket. To Concierge. From Annoyed. This infernal racket. Do you like torturing me? Is that what this is? When I first learned I'd be just beneath the floor occupied by the Rizzo's Rangers, I was excited as any toss ball-loving Halcyonite should be. What I did not anticipate is the degree which these hullheads seem to enjoy prancing to and fro, pounding on their floor and my ceiling every hour of the architect cursed day. They install a toss-ball fifth court upstairs while I wasn't looking, or is this normal? And worst of all, it sounds like one of them has decided to start imitating a woolly cow. I'll give them that it's a convincing facsimile, but it has no place in a hotel. And each bleat is so loud it shakes the glasses on my face. I demand a room change yesterday. For each additional hour after midnight today that I am not rehomed, I expect at least one employee to be fired. From a concerned Byzantian. Mechanical menace. To whatever members of the help it may concern, I've heard a horrible clanking passing my room every night for the past 6 nights. Yesterday I mustered up all my courage to send a servant to look, and upon her return she says she's seen what looks like an armed mechanical wander by my room for the past 6 nights. She said it was something called a Burbage 3001 and that it was a serial star. If this machine is a serial star, I must ask, why are you filming outside our rooms without paying us? We're not consenting to have our temporary property filmed. There is no doubt a contract for this, and if this machine is being allowed to wander without being filmed, then I want to be paid double. Do you have any idea how dangerous the thing could be? It could tread on my foot and ruin my aspirations to be a professional dancer. If I ever decide to have those aspirations, I urgently wait a response. Okay. VIP guest list. Halcyon Helen. Ruth Bellamy. Despite her celebrity status, the greater part of Halcyon Helen's requests have been fairly normal. Soap, shampoo, new towels, and so on. The one exception is her unusual consumption of food and drink. I'm not one to judge about that sort of thing. Law knows I've seen stranger proclivities, there we go, finally, from other guests. But she really does request a lot and frequently. Listen to this. For lunch today, she ordered 6 Borston beef sandwiches, 2 purple berry shakes, 2 purple berry liqueurs, several retro rockets, and cigarettes enough to crush a teacup canid. I'd wonder if she's planning a party, but the clean staff say every time they go on up, there's been no sign of what she's ordered. If Helen really does keep managing to get through all of what she's been ordering, then maybe she should consider quitting show business and entering the competitive consumption scene instead. Interesting. Woolrich Spencer. In the past 2 weeks, I received 315 different service requests from Mr. Woolrich. These requests include, but are not limited to, his entire wardrobe from Terran Monarch, 513 different outfits, including a primal suit, 5 gallons of each color of spectrum except black, wants 50 gallons of black, wow, teacup canids of various breeds, a plasma launcher, what? And consisting of over 60% of all total requests, an upgraded room. Administrative Ludovico authorized him to move into the second largest room just to shut him the hell up. But Halcyon Helen got the biggest one, and of course Woolrich can't accept he's been eclipsed. Got another room upgrade request as I was typing this. I've more than half a mind to send an exterminator to fumigate his rooms just so he can't request anything else for a while. But then he might come down here and try to talk to me, and I think I'd quite honestly rather be dead. Holcomb. Holcomb's requests have been about what you expect from a professional skullcracker. Toss balls, toss ball sticks, new clothes because he keeps, and I quote, accidentally tearing the shirts that are too small for my giant muscles. Oh, brother. Funny how the rips I've seen look more like they've been made by hand. I've noticed that he's asked for very little in the way of effort accelerators or enhancers. No skin tough, no oxycomp, not even any dervish mist. Typically, toss ball players go through that filth like no one else. Maybe Holcomb's trying to prove something to Helen. Whatever it is, I don't think it's going to work. So Helen has been ordering a whole bunch of food. Felix, shh.
Damn.
Hello?
Sublight Underground appreciates your patronage.
I'm sure they do. Well, Mr. Norville.
Finally checked in, I see. I hope you're fond of the penthouse. It's pretty much the best seat in the whole hotel. You shouldn't want for any amenity you might find elsewhere. Should act as a better headquarters for the investigation than any space dust covered ship. That and you ain't got room service on a ship. You ever need anything, come find me. Even if you don't, you can still swing by. I'm always happy to chat.
From what I heard, your affection for Helen was somewhat extreme.
I suppose you could call it that, but that don't mean I poked around her room or nothing while she was out. That'd be a huge breach of hotel policy. Besides, knowing Helen's athletic acumen, anyone who tried probably would have been found, beaten senseless, then hurled into the hallway, followed by the contents of a garbage bin. Probably, that is, it'd probably happen, but it didn't. I'm just theorizing.
Oh, suspicious.
Now, what can I lend a hand with?
Did you know the victim?
Oh, of course. That is, maybe not on a personal level, but I'm one of her biggest fans. Even started an association of like-minded individuals. I'd lament not having anything to meet about anymore, but the newer tribe just ain't done it for us. Still, there goes my hopes of a Terran Monarch reunion episode.
There are other celebrities, right?
Sorry, friend, but I guess you don't get it. Helen was special, had a certain quality about her, like she would really go out and fight injustice. You look at Woolrich, and no disrespect to the man, but you just don't get the same feeling. He reminds me more of a vacuum suit without nobody in it. Don't tell him I said that.
First of all, there is a new rising star in Byzantium. You might have seen his first scene that's coming out, and he fights justice for real outside and is going to save this colony. Just thought you might want to know that. Anyways, I'm curious about you. How'd you get to be a bellhop?
Notice my battle-hardened physique, have you? Used to be in a mighty mean line of work. Been shot at 35 times. That is, I've been near people who were shot at 35 times. But to be honest, I never really enjoyed it, you know. It's one thing to tightrope walk between life and death every day, but for just a handful of bits? Nah. When this position came up, I jumped on it and made a lateral move from sublight to slug. I ain't ever looked back.
Got any good stories? Sure, you've seen a lot of people coming and going.
Stories? Huh. Actually, I think I got a couple now that you mention it. There used to be a whole toss-ball court on one of the planetoids, but they ripped it out. Bench clears are a tad too lethal when there's an endless drop on every side.
And Slug and Sublight didn't engage much. How'd you move from one to the other?
Well, Slug is something like an offshoot of Sublight. It ain't too difficult to pivot from one part of the same company to another. Disconnects or no. That said, my departure may have been somewhat hasty.
Did something bad and had to make tracks, eh? I know the feeling.
I mean, yes, but I still earned Sublight a hell of a lot of bits. Basically, I singled out a ship to salvage that I thought had been out for use for years. As it turns out, it belonged to a wealthy Byzantine who used it only to vacation. As it so happened, I still don't think she tried to use it, too satisfied with the luxuries of Byzantium. Still, I figured it was a good time to turn tail, in case that ever changed.
How different is working with Slug from working with Sublight?
Well, Slug is more trustworthy for one thing, where Sublight is all about back alleys and backstabbing. Slug can be trusted not to salvage your ship when you turn your head.
Other questions? Mind if I ask you a few questions about the crime scene?
Please do.
All right, goodbye. By the way, the operator thinks you're pretty handsome. I can't say that to you, though.
Hello there, my inordinately... Oh, you're the one who visited me. Hello again. Thanks so much for brightening my day. What authorized floor can I bring you to?
Bring me to the penthouse suite, please.